Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is July 17, 2024, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, very exciting. Gold rallies to all-time record highs. But first, no major economic events scheduled for the latter part of today. We did have two events earlier this morning. First from Great Britain and New Zealand, CPI numbers, not much change there. And that means, looking at the Forex symbols, not much changing for the major pairs. Now shifting over to the indices, the Dow Jones rallies to all-time record highs, 41K, while the NASDAQ remains unchanged. Now looking at commodities, oil and natural gas continue their sliding lower, selling off. And as we shift over to the stocks, JP Morgan, largest financial institution in the world, makes new all-time record highs yesterday as well. Now lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin rebounding. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here you go. First with the British pound. Now this earlier this morning, CPI number coming out, and it did rally a little bit, but it's really unchanged, really hanging out at that 129.88. Now, however, if it does break 130, that will mean it'll explode to 131. So let's take a look at it. Potentially, it does have some room on the upside here. Let's take a look on a weekly chart just to see that. Yeah, it's strengthening on a second time basis. So that is something really important. And remember, we mentioned this last week where we break above the 200-day moving average. That is very important. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're looking at this as well. Now, looking at commodities, gold. Now, you knew this was going to happen. Why? Because inflation is still there. There's still uncertainty in the markets. And sure enough, that happened yesterday. Finally, breaking out 24.65 where we're at. We hit a high of 24.82. So we're just about 20 points off of our all-time record highs. Okay, so with that said, okay, let's see if there's going to be a fade opportunity, meaning we've exhausted ourselves on the upside, and it does look like an inverted hammer, which means that it's going to go further down. So keep that in mind. And looking at natural gas, we did slide lower to 216. This is a bona fide retracement for natural gas. Okay, did have that head and shoulders up here, but couldn't sustain it and did break out lower. Now we're getting into an area where it's supportish level, 217, so keep that in mind. Looking at crude oil also retracing down to 80.76. Not big deal from yesterday, but it's getting to a supportish level. So keep that in mind. Now looking at the US markets, very exciting. The NASDAQ unchanged, okay, actually trading a little bit down here, but the Dow Jones hitting all-time record highs, 41,148 right now. Okay, and this is really on the back of the banks. Let's take a look at it. JP Morgan hitting all-time record highs, 213. And Bank of America rallying even higher to $44 a share. This is a weekly chart. We're about $6 from our all-time record highs. Not bad for the banks, rallying very nicely. Now the techs next week have big corporate earnings, quarterly earning reports, so that's going to be affected until that actually comes out. So I'm going to stay away from that for now. But let's take a look at Bitcoin, all right? Because that's where it's happening. Bitcoin had a nice rally up. Now, we had a V formation. We sold off from 64 down to 58. We came back, and then we looked like we were making a double top there. But then, sure enough, it pushed even higher to 65,000. Okay, so it's been resilient. It hasn't really sustained itself on the upside, but it broke that possibility of it selling off, at least at 63,200-ish levels. So for now, okay, it might be a choppy environment. Maybe we'll extend it. Take a look at it. It's trading and it's trending upwards. So it might be a good play for it today. This is Razak. Want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.